I would say New Hampshire was stranger than Bangor.
Strange Maine presents Episode 1, Introducing Curbside Cody.
Maine, it'll make a bitch do strange things.
So I'm standing here with, what's your name?
Cody Van Riper.
And how long have you lived in Portland?
Since 2018, so 6 years.
Where did you live before Portland?
Bangor. I lived in Bangor for about 5 or 6 years.
Bangor, Maine?
Yep.
So any strange things happen up there like Stephen King makes it seem?
Strange things.
I met a girl on Adult Friend Finder. She was like 50. The couple owned a restaurant. I fucked her at Motel 6 while the husband watched. He sat in the chair like 5 feet away. Afterwards, she said I was interesting. Like she got a Macho Debo vibe from me.
A Macho Debo vibe?
Yeah.
What's a Macho Debo vibe?
Like if you're a coward, a woman, you loon.
Loon?
Loon, yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like a fun night.
Yeah.
Memorable night.
Yeah.
And before Bangor, you grew up in Bangor?
I lived in Nashua and Manchester.
Nashua, New Hampshire?
Yep.
What was it like growing up in Nashua?
It was kind of like the young America or like the old America. The old America in that it was like the 2010 days and it was different back then and like the people were different. And Nashua has changed since then.
You've been in Maine for how long now?
I've been in Maine since 2013, so 11 years.
And why'd you leave Nashua?
I was at a children's home in Manchester, and they told me the day I graduated I had to leave. And so I went to Job Corps in Bangor.
So you were an orphan?
Yeah, I kind of was. It really was like the Stanford prison experiment there. They locked you down into a tiny little room from when you got out of school until dinner time. And then after dinner time, you were on like a little pod, a TV room. And my roommate was a sociopath. The kids there were kind of criminal. Yeah, they locked you into a little room where you couldn't really move around all that much. And you were stuck there and you couldn't get outside. And yeah, it was kind of like the Stanford prison experiment there.
Sounds pretty bad.
Yep.
So
it was called the Webster House.
The Webster House.
Yep.
You didn't have family growing up?
No, not really. I lived with my aunt and my grandfather in New Boston, New Hampshire from 2003 to 2008.
And what happened there? Did you stop living with them?
I started to sexually harass or get haunts with my aunt. And yeah. I did live with my grandfather.
And how was living with your grandfather?
It was okay. He had no nose though. When he lived in Florida in like 2000, he pulled a nose hair out that grew abnormally long, and it grew in the cancer, which cancer is an abnormal growth of cells. When he pulled it out, it caused a mutation or it caused the cell to become cancer, and he had to get his nose amputated and they cut his nose off. And he tried to get it like cosmetic surgery on it, and they took a large part of his upper right forehead out, so it looked like you could see bone up there. And they also took out a part of his thigh, and they tried to reconstruct it, but he ran out of money, so it wasn't fully finished. Yeah.
So your grandfather's nose amputated and a piece of his forehead missing.
Yeah.
And how long did you live with your grandfather?
I lived with my grandfather from when I was 5 to 13, so 8 years or 9 years.
And he had his those deformities the entire time you were living?
Yeah.
That's good.
One time we were at Shaw's in Goffstown, and he went to the cash register, and the woman at first, she just tried to give him the cold shoulder or ignore him, and then she fainted right there at the cash register.
The sight of his face
Yeah.
made her faint?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, so New Hampshire was crazy. New Hampshire was stranger than Bangor.
I would say New Hampshire was stranger than Bangor.
Yeah, some witchcraft, the witches, the Native American curses out here.
Yeah. One time I was in my room right after I got out of Bangor and I moved to Portland, and I heard like a witchy spell, like a, and it was like swirling in like a wind or a vortex, and it also made some other weird noise, and it was like a witchy spell from maybe up in Bangor.
So, how old are you, Cody?
When?
How old are you, Cody?
I am 29 years of age.
29. You have a place you live in out here?
Yes, I live at 10 Congress Square Plaza. It's a Section 8 housing place, which also accepts refugees from like Africa.
Are you diagnosed with any mental illness? Or
Possibly, I don't really know.
yeah. And how has it been living at this Congress Square?
It's been good. There are kind of rats and old people and drama. The place is kind of uptight too.
So what do you do for a living? How do you survive?
I talk to friends. Yeah.
Nobody messes with you out here?
I have an autistic bully that goes by the name Ryan Carr, and he steals cell phones from me. I called the police on him about a month ago, and he walked up to me and he took my cell phone and we just started walking around, and then we came back to my place and he wanted to stay a few nights, and I didn't really want him there, so I called the police. And then Christopher Wallace, who is an Irish American police officer, he looks like a scary, mean guy. He evicted him, and yeah.
So got some bullies out here on the street.
Yeah, autistic bullies, they don't really know what they do and they're ignorant. It's kind of cuckold-worthy. I have a stalker by the name of Matthew Borders, and he's kind of crazy. He's got schizophrenia, and he follows me around town and he yells aggressively, and I got a protection order against him, a protection from harassment.
So you don't do any drugs or any drug
I
problems?
drink alcohol and I smoke, but I don't drink every day usually. I have a friend who's a drug counselor out in California, and we belong to a group, or kind of, it's called Princess Mossad, which Mossad is a group of Israeli assassins, and it means institute in Hebrew, so it means Prince's Institute, and we yeah.
So the Princess Mossad is like a rehab or helps with your...
It's a group or quasi gang. We have a set of rules or a constitution, and we roll. Yeah.
How many members are in the Princess Mossad?
We have 3 current members.
Bikers here in the back. You said how many members in the Princess Mossad?
3 current members.
3 current members.
It is hard to. It's, God's true stance and God's true message and what God really thinks. I don't think we know that as a fact, but it is interesting because in every fetus there is the seed of a person that can live a life and go to heaven, and in heaven there is God's kingdom, and there is a soul that can enjoy the gifts and the beatitudes of heaven. And every time somebody gets an abortion, that's cutting that out. So it is interesting. Christians say that aborted fetuses go to heaven, which almost seems to be an argument for it. A counter argument, I guess, could be is that their heaven isn't as good as ours. But most ancient societies had a taboo or prohibition against abortion.
So you're a religious person of faith?
Kinda.
You're a Christian?
Yes, I am a Christian.
You have a church you go to out here?
No.
No.
I do follow John Andretti, who is a local pro-life pastor. I do talk to him. I do very much like and enjoy him.